All right, what's up, everybody? Welcome in Snuffing Torches Survivor 49, episode 9 recap, I believe, right? We got a full panel today. Our faces are smaller than usual. We got a full crew with me, Clemmer, Nate, and John Rich, and we have the winner of Survivor 47, Rachel. Rachel, welcome on. Thanks for joining.
Thank you. What's up? How are you guys?
Good. How are you? Thanks for coming on. I think you're the first winner we've had on this show.
I think so. I was thinking about that too, Tommy. I think she might be.
Hoboken Mike.
He didn't win.
I think that's all the guests, Tommy.
First win? No, we've had
Paul
and Gabe and Sam.
Oh yeah.
Saul
all
was
your
on
seasons. Your Survivor 47, a big Snuffing Torches, Snuffing Torches season.
Yeah, I was just talking to Saul earlier today, so he says hi.
Yeah, great guy, friend of the program. But yeah, thanks for coming on. We'll get into it. If the chat has any questions for Rachel, save them for the end. We'll do a episode recap first. I thought that was, strong episode, pretty enthralling start to finish. I'm just blown away by how stupid some of this gameplay is. The fact that they keep letting Rizzo get away with not playing an idol is absolutely mind-boggling.
It's mine. I cannot believe he didn't play it tonight. Like, I can't believe he didn't have to. Like, and he knew he didn't have to. And I don't know if that speaks to just how well he's playing or how bad everyone else is playing. It's really hard to tell, honestly, because it just doesn't. Like, where did Alex going home come from? Like, we weren't set up for this at all. I mean, right. That's what I mean. So, like, is it really that Rizzo's just able to, like, change the tide that well? Because from where I'm sitting, it doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make any sense at all.
It absolutely doesn't, Rachel. And I think it is Rizzo being so good because they all say, we know we need to do this. We know we need to have him play this idol. And yet this is the third week in a row where we're all on this show saying, I can't believe he didn't play it. And they know they need to play it. But Rizzo has some sort of weird manipulation where he's fooling them every week.
Do you think it's that he gives like baby face and people just trust him and like aren't intimidated by him or something? But he's tall. I met him. He's like, I don't feel like you would. I don't know. It's so weird.
He's not intimidating, though. We met him too. He's not intimidating.
Yeah. No, he's just. I mean, I would just say I like his gameplay.
Like it takes the target off his back.
Tommy, he's just. You're saying like the gameplay's bad. I just think he's really good. I think you're discrediting everybody else. Like I'm actually shocked you said like mind-blowingly terrible gameplay. I just think he has this cast wrapped around his finger, and we're watching a master at work, which is what I thought you were going to compare yourself to, Tommy. I thought you were going to be like, I see a lot of myself in him. Yeah, and then you come out and you're crushing everybody else. I love the editing again this episode. I love his gameplay. I'm such a fan of this season. Like, I think it's such a breath of fresh air. I can't really explain just how much I enjoyed tonight's episode and this whole season as a whole, especially because of how much I've disliked some previous seasons. I think Rizzo's great. I think Little Sophie's great. I think just so many of these people are edited so well. And I'm stunned that you're not blowing him more, Tommy, instead of crushing everybody else.
I mean, I think a lot of it is Juwan might be the most manipulative player I've seen on Survivor.
Manipulative bully, you mean?
No, like easily manipulative. Like easily
manipulated. Like
easily. I was tripping over that word big time. You know what I mean?
Welcome to Snuffing Torches, Rachel.
I'm sorry. But the second he went to Juwan with Alex, like it was over. Like I don't think Juwan had any like previous notions of it. I don't think any of it was even that true. Although Alex did kind of mention at the end, that's what I get from playing both sides. So that maybe was a little bit more of a not just a Rizzo thing.
But it's the third week in a row.
Yeah.
You know what this reminds me of?
It's happened different each week, though. In this one, I felt like this was the one that they were all on the same page. And he just went like, hey, Juwan, how about Alex? And he's like, yep.
I do want to give credit to Rizzo. He's obviously playing very well. Like having the balls to hold on to the idol every time, that takes courage. And being able to divert. I mean, tonight, because it was going to be a 3-3-3 split, so he only really needs to convince one person from that 6 to not vote for him. So he ends up getting, I think, 3 people, Jawan, Sage, and other Sophie, I believe. There's only 1 vote for Rizzo.
And there were 2 for other Sophie.
Yeah, it was. I wrote it down. It was Alex voted for Rizzo, Christina and Steven voted for Sophie B, and then everyone else voted for Alex.
Yeah. So Soph, good at challenges. Soph went with the majority. So yeah, I do want to give Rizzo credit, but it's also like I think that Sage and Jawan, for all the credit they're getting of like they're running the game. They botched the vote last week by voting out MC for seemingly no reason when they still have the numbers to get Rizzo out. And this week, you've been talking so much about, Rizzo, Savannah, we gotta get him out. You have the chance tonight, and you don't do it because Alex is playing both sides. Like, yeah, everyone's playing both sides. Kind of. It's fucking Survivor.
Well, it's
Rizzo
also
got in their head. Like,
yeah.
He did well. He did well. I'm just saying you shouldn't let him get in your head that easy.
It's also like if Alex is the pariah that everyone sees through, why are you voting him out?
Right.
Like, that's right. Yep.
If he's got no allies and no one trusts him, it's the same. It's like, yeah, it just doesn't add up. But it is credit to Rizzo for getting in everyone's ear. He's calling his shot in his confessionals. He's executing with the group. It's impressive. Like it's rare to see someone being cocky and then actually like watching it work.
Yeah, because the producers love that. They love someone's cocky and they pull the rug out from under them. And this is like the opposite of that. It's almost like an anti-Survivor confessional. This reminds me a little bit of the Kim Spradlin year, where she had everyone wrapped around her finger. I'm not saying he's as good as her, because I think she's one of the greatest to ever do it. But I think that he has some of that in him, where he convinces people relatively easily and knows he does it every week.
Yeah. He's a sales guy in real life. So this makes sense. I think he's really good at kind of pushing his agenda in the background. Yeah.
He must be, because it's not like his social game is even especially great.
Like, I think it's better. I think it actually is pretty great.
I mean, I guess there's different ways to define it. Do you think does he seem like an overall like beloved guy at camp to you? I think he was early on. I feel like everyone is like, that's the enemy right now.
I think it's tough to be beloved when you're also viewed as a threat. Like I think they recognize him as a threat a lot because of the idol. But so I think he's liked, but there is also like, that element in the back of your head where it's like, if you like someone too much, that kind of makes him a threat in a weird way.
Mm-hmm.
But he hasn't been like overly like chipper and happy and like involved with people lately. Like, you know what I mean? He's
more of a strategist at this point than like a social butterfly.
But they like him. He's a goofball. Remember when he fell in the water when he had the flippers on and they're all laughing? Like I think he can do that, which is disarming. And then the next moment have a confessional where he's like, I'm going to cut all this.
He's a blue guy at camp, but he raises everybody up. He makes people laugh, and they take him. But they don't think he's a joke because he's so good at strategizing. He's just. I think his all-around game is just exactly what you want in a Survivor player.
It's almost a little Tony-esque, where Tony was a great strategist, but he also was super likable and disarmed people and would, like make jokes with people and everything. And he would buy like a llama or whatever the hell he was doing in Winners at War or whatever. Like Russell was a villain, but Russell like had a terrible social game. It's almost having that high strategy while also having a really good social game.
I think another thing too, it's really hard for Survivor to show us people's social games. Like that's why social winners are people always like contest their wins, because you can't condense how someone feels about a person over days and days and weeks into like a 10-second clip on TV. It just doesn't translate. So he could also be we don't really know, people don't talk about Rizzo except to say that they need to flush his idol. Like, we don't know how they actually feel about Rizzo, which, is just, remains to be seen, I guess.
Yeah. All right, let's go through the episode. We'll go start to finish here. Started off with, they get back to camp after the MC vote, and basically everyone is looking at Sophie and being like, why the hell are you still here?
Crazy.
That was so mean.
Look, it's bad gameplay because she clocked it immediately. And it's like, even if you feel that way, you swallow it and you keep her thinking that you want to work with her. Like, in what universe is it good gameplay to be like, I can't believe you're fucking here, and just keep it up? Like, it's one thing to be shocked, and then another thing to just all night everyone's like, she's like, wow, I feel really weird, and everyone's just kind of like looking at each other. It's like, what are you doing?
Yeah, you gotta be like, thank God you're here. Oh my God, I'm so worried.
And she immediately is like, well, I guess I'm flipping, like, because why would she stick with you when you clearly don't want her there? So bizarre.
I thought it was weird that, like, it sort of got mentioned last week where it was like, oh yeah, her old yellow tribe doesn't really like her. They think she's gonna go home. I thought they were all tight. I felt like that came out of nowhere. That storyline of her being like disconnected from Christina and Steven. And now,
way at the beginning, we saw it was MC, I think, tell Sophie that her name was getting thrown out, like way back, like first or second episode. So it does feel like she's always sort of been on the outs of that tribe, but we never really found out why either. You know, like, it doesn't seem clear. And now it's like, oh, well, she's a challenge threat. It was like, well, this came kind of out of nowhere. I don't know. Yeah.
I also loved how judgy half of the people were, the people that didn't vote, that they didn't flush Rizzo's idol. And then they did the same exact thing themselves later on.
That's funny. Yeah. It's true.
Yeah. What was Steven's quote? He was saying, he had some quote about Sophie about like this is what happens like when you don't have your head in the game, blah, blah, blah. And all that really happened was Sophie saved her ass in that trial. Yeah. We criticized the way she did it, but Steven doesn't really know that. And the way they were just talking about like how dumb she is, while at the same time she was the one they were trying to get out. Like, just none of that made sense. They were disgusted to see her come back together.
Yeah. So I thought early on that this was going to be the Christina boot episode. We had Steve tell Sage about Christina finding an idol. And Christina, I believe, at the first confession of the episode, she was talking more in like the first 15 minutes of this episode that she has all season. I think it was last week. I was like, we'll know when Christina's going home, when all of a sudden we're like, whoa, what's Christina doing on the TV so much? So I thought that it was leading up to that. Or I thought that also, and this could still come into play, but Steven telling Sage about Christina's idol, I was like, is eventually maybe Sophie going to find out that Christina has an idol and then use her knowledge as power against her? We also saw Christina, for some unknown reason, telling Soph about the plan. Like, yeah, we're probably going to split the votes on Rizzo and Savannah tonight when she's in an alliance with them. I thought this was setting up for like Christina to play herself out tonight.
Christina had a confessional when she was talking about how she wanted to bring MC to the final three. I was like, all right, girl, like, let's go. Yeah. I think, Tommy, you said it last week. You're like, she's just falling into luck left and right, like finding idols here, like doing this there. I can't get enough of her. I don't want to give an early jib cut, but I love Christina.
It's a good move giving Joanne her food, I thought.
We'll get to that. I thought that was...
I got smart. That's good gameplay. I mean,
everyone
seemed to love it.
I'm excited to debate this.
What did you think? What have you thought overall? Or I guess, let's just get into that. Unless you guys have anything else you want to touch on there. But reward challenge. So it's split up into Rizzo, Steven, Joanne, Sage, and then Alex, Savannah, Christina, Sophie. Soph picks to go with Rizzo's tribe. I actually wanted to ask you this, Rachel, for like reward challenges when there's schoolyard picks. I don't know. There was a schoolyard pick tonight, I believe. They never show it. Are there ever from I guess your season, like were there any good moments of like the schoolyard picks? Does that ever lead to like strategy and rifts in alliances?
I don't know that it leads to strategy. I definitely think it can kind of show people like cracks, or you expect to be picked by someone and then they don't pick you. And so we did one on our season, and I think that it did, like, Sam picked me when he could have picked Sierra, and I don't know how that went between them, but I think that in the moment I was like, oh, that was interesting. I was not expecting him to do that. And maybe it is just kind of like, he's like, well, she's better at this thing or whatever, but it just it does make you think. And then knowing that Soph was not picked, what does she think about that? I thought that we might get enough confessional about that from her.
They never show it, and they never have confessionals about it, and it seems like a huge deal to me, like how they're picking and choosing. Do you choose your alliance? Do you choose the strongest players? Like, what do you do? make it random if it's not part of the overall edit?
Yeah, it's interesting because Andy was the last person picked when we did it on my season, and like the next day is when he like flipped to vote out Sierra. So like, and I do think that it had impact. You know, like I do think that was like one of the things that's telling him like, I am not with these people are not with me. Like Sam picked Rachel picked Sierra. Like I'm not getting picked. Like, you know, and I think that those things matter. So it is interesting that they choose to do it in the game and then don't choose to show the kind of social ramifications from it.
Yeah, I would think even with the 90-minute episodes, that could have been something that like they
plenty of time
more. But anyway, reward obstacle course ring throwing thing. Alex wins it for his tribe. And then, so Juwan, even before the challenge started, was talking about it. He hasn't had any food yet, no rewards. And then after, Christina volunteers, the emotional crying moment where it's like, I'm giving my reward to Juwan. I thought it was a bad move. One, I mean, just from a physical standpoint of like, you probably want that protein. But also, I think it's a standpoint of also like, it puts attention on you for no reason. Like now people are like, wow, Christina's going to have this deeper bond with Juwan. She could get his jury vote at the end or something. Like, it's like when people would win the family reward challenge and then people would feel indebted to them when they pick them or whatever, put a target on your back. I just think, and I mean, Rachel, I'm interested on your take because you've played in one, but I think in all scenarios in Survivor, you basically want to do as much as possible to avoid putting a spotlight on you for seemingly no reason. And I feel like that's what Christina did.
Tommy, should it be allowed? I think is.
Yes, I yes, because it has social impact. Like you should let them do whatever the fuck they want and deal with the consequences of that. So I hard yes on that question.
I think the debate of should a loser get to win is interesting to me.
I think it's like it should be allowed from just the sense of like, I guess it gives you the opportunity of a moment for TV, right? If you're thinking like producer brain, like it gives you the opportunity for a new alliance or storyline to pop up.
Also, more freedom the better, I think. I think let people make decisions because then things will happen with those decisions.
Yeah,
I think it totally should be allowed. No, I think it was foolish she did it, but I'm curious to hear Rachel's take on it.
None of you guys think that bought like goodwill for in general?
But goodwill between the two of them is bad for everybody else, right?
I think people just kind of liked it. And I think the spot that like Christina is in the game, like she's not a threat. Like people aren't really like looking at her as like a potential winner. Like she's going to hang on by being someone that like everyone likes. And like, oh, like she's a good person. Oh, that was nice. Like she gave Juwan her food. Like I think just being like pleasant and kind of looking out for people like that for a person like her, like in her spot, like I think that might kind of go a long way. Not a long ways, but it might go a round or two for her.
I can't speak to Christina's specific, position here, but I think that if I was someone else on the mat, I would immediately be questioning, no matter her intent. I agree. I do think that she genuinely did it out of the kindness of her heart because she wanted Juwan to eat, period. But intent does not equal impact. And like, I think that anybody else that's standing there is like, are they closer than we think they are? Will Juwan feel indebted to her in some way and like vote with her when he wasn't planning on it? Like, I think that there's always sort of the calculus of like, now, because when you're out there, you're always doing the like stack, like, where am I on Tommy's 1, 2, 3? Like, where do I stand in this group that we're in right now? Where am I on that? And then, like, if something happens between two other people, has that changed my position? And you're always calculating that. And so I think anything that's that generous and that public, it throws a wrench in that. And it has consequence, in people's minds.
Yeah. How many, has she essentially won every food challenge?
I don't actually know.
I don't know.
I wasn't sure either. I mean, if she really has like won every challenge too, it really just might be. Like, I eat so much, like I just don't really care. Like you're starving, like just.
Yeah, I'm like she's full.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The flip side of it though is if Juwan comes to me 2 votes down the road and says I want to vote out Christina, I don't believe him. And like unless I'm like super tight because like on some level I saw that you owe her a debt. Now it's a small debt, a big debt, however you want to phrase that. But now that puts distrust in my mind and all this for nothing. So like that's where it just kind of throws this weird thing into it. But I do believe she had the right intention.
Yeah, I don't think she did it as a gameplay, but like I think there is. I think, John, what you're saying is like people be like, oh, she's nice, we'll keep her around. Maybe that's true when it's like 18 people left in the game and you're in tribes. I think in this stage of the game, 8 people left now, there's like a 0% chance anyone's gonna be like, no, we can't vote out Christina tonight. She gave Juwan her fried chicken that one time. Like no one's gonna think like that. They might think, besides Juwan, that they might think though, like Christina's kind of a social threat in this game. She gave Juwan the chicken. They have like a bond. She hasn't really made any enemies. I think it's more like, I don't think she's playing like a great game, but I think that people at one point might be like, well, she hasn't made any enemies. Let's not bring her to the end.
And that's definitely a reason to get rid of somebody because especially if you are a person that feels like you've burned a lot of the people that are going to be on the jury, you don't want to sit next to somebody that feels like was everybody's good friend and did nothing wrong the whole time, because people have lost that way before, you know?
Yeah, for sure. Like I think that I always like used to think like, oh, if someone's not making game moves, I don't want to take them to the end at all. But I do feel like when you're out there, like it's probably harder to be like, everybody likes this person, because you don't know what people are seeing in the edit or whatever. Like you're just like, everybody out here likes this person. I'm not going to sit at the end with them.
And look, someone can play an amazing game and get to the end, and if I don't like them, I'm not going to vote for them. So like it's as much like people liking the people that get to the end as it is like, did they play a good game? Those things kind of like supplement. But if you dislike a person, period, it doesn't matter what they did in the game. You're not gonna like.
Is that true across the board, Rachel? Where like if someone plays an incredible game but just isn't likable, they really wouldn't get like votes from people?
I'm not saying that they won't get any votes. I just think that the majority of people are human beings at the end of the day. And like, if you, Clemmer, sitting next to Tommy and you played a better game, but I really connected with Tommy and you burned me and he didn't, I might not vote for you because like that, why would I give you $1 million when I could give this guy that I really like, who didn't do me dirty in the game, $1 million? Like it doesn't, it depends, and it's very jury specific, but I think that like the number one thing you need to get votes at the end is to be liked by people.
Yeah, I think that there is a balance where like, I think that you were, Clemmer, like you played it. What if someone played a great game, but nobody liked them? I don't know if you could play a great game.
That's fair.
And have nobody like them.
Yeah, I mean, because social is like one of the pillars. Yeah.
Yeah.
Russell's kind of like the key example of that.
Right.
Yeah.
I have one more thing on that. I know we're probably gonna go long, but I do like when players negotiate with Jeff and kind of making a more 3D game. I feel like we don't see that enough. Like it happened last season. It's like they were completely out of food, and he's like, "I'll give you like a handful of rice, but everybody has to lose their vote." I don't know what it was.
It was either shot in the dark.
Oh yeah, and they're all like, "We don't share." Shot in the dark.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
You were also the one that tried to steal the rice during the challenge, right?
I did, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Didn't work out for me.
Well, I think it did actually. Wrong. I think it worked out fine for you.
Wait, we talked about this last week. Someone just mentioned it in the chat. So half the tribe goes to reward challenge, gets to eat food, half doesn't. Can you be stuffing chicken like in your pockets and in your armpit? Like, are they watching you?
Yeah, they'll literally like. We've tried to just like pick up food on the way out, and they're like, open hands. Like,
okay, second question. Talked about this last week. What if you just did whatever you want? What if you all decided like, hey, Jeff just took the carpet off the smorgasbord of food, and you guys all just rushed Jeff,
rush the table? Like, honestly, that would be sick.
Everyone did it. They can't pick everyone off.
They
but
can't
if one person
the
does
season.
it, maybe they get the reward.
I think
you're too deep. If everyone does it, they're not canceling the season.
I think a whole mat does it. I don't know what they fucking do, but it would be awesome. Someone should
be
do
good
that.
TV.
Somebody
too.
listening that's going to be on 51. You do it.
Yeah, but no, I think if it's one person, they're fucked.
I agree.
Yeah,
I agree.
They're in trouble. If everyone does it, I don't know. So after the challenge, I thought it was a funny little moment of Steven saying he's having like nightmares about the chickens. He killed the 2 chickens. He's like, I don't know if I could eat chicken. What do you guys? I feel like Steven has been pretty under the radar. He was my winner pick after episode 1. I've kind of stuck with him. I don't feel great about it, but he hasn't really given me a reason to get off of it. But he hasn't been on the right, like he was on the right side of the vote tonight. I still think he's likable, but he seems like I was actually thinking tonight he has the vibe of an edit of a guy that gets voted out in the first part of the finale. Like he comes in like 5th. Like that's sort of like he just feels like, yeah, he played a good game, but he's not going to be too memorable. That's just a buy piece. I like him, but
he's a background character. Yeah,
he's been kind of a background character.
Yeah, I don't
Juwan
nobody dislikes him. He's just
Juwan loves him so much. He thanked him like 4 times this episode tonight. I think Juwan would follow him into the end of the earth. I don't know if that's worth, but
I think he should be steering that group more than he is.
Steven?
Yeah.
What is that group anymore now? It's just him.
Well, I'm a little confused, but when they said that
too.
Juwan and Sage were like the leaders of the power
right
or whatever, I was like, how is that possible? Like that didn't seem like that should be what's happening. Like a guy like Steven, I feel like is like kind of could just be controlling all those numbers, and they have all those numbers, and they kind of just seem to be fumbling it every episode.
Yeah, well, it was also like you had Steven, Sophie, and Christina have been a trio from the beginning. Like they're on the same tribe to start, and it's like they're now reporting to like a duo that they didn't even work with.
Yeah.
Like,
And they don't like Sophie. They didn't want her to come back. So
Yeah,
like
like, I don't know what flipped.
I really don't. I feel like one of the things that we're not getting this season is an actual lay of the dynamics. Like, I think we know the pockets of like 2s and 3s, but we have no idea how they like play together. Like, I really, like you brought up earlier, Christina telling Soph that like they were going to split the votes between Rizzo and Savannah, her 2 closest allies. Like, are they just not aware that they're a trio? Are they being really under the radar with it? And that's what we don't understand.
Feels like everyone was aware of that besides Christina.
I thought so. My other thought about that is like when you're out there, I think when you see a group on the bottom, like everyone keeps saying those 3 are on the bottom, those 3 are on the bottom. I think that there's this mentality of like, we're in the power position, we're in this majority number group, and then there's these like 3 people and they have no choice but to turn against each other because we have all the power. So like, fuck them. We can tell them whatever we want but knowing that Rizzo has an idol is like, you'd think that they would want to keep that more shrouded. I don't know. It doesn't really make sense, but I think sometimes being in the majority group and feeling like you have the numbers can make you kind of sloppy in that way. And you're just like, well, it's either you or them, so just vote for them kind of thing.
Yeah, definitely. I feel like people get overconfident.
Yeah.
So going into the challenge, Rizzo's done a pretty good job smearing Alex's name. I thought it was actually, this is a big point to Rizzo, where it was earlier in the episode where Alex came to him and was saying whatever he was saying, and Rizzo was like, I see exactly through what he's doing. He's trying to draw lines in the sand, make it this side versus this side, and put himself in the middle. I think the fact that Rizzo snipped, like, we can see that obviously because we, the edited footage, and that's clear what's happening. But being able to be in the moment and in it and realize that's exactly what Alex was doing, I thought was a great read by Rizzo.
Yeah, really perceptive.
Tommy, don't skip over something super important, please.
What?
Savannah coming clean.
I was going to get to that next. Savannah finally drops the bomb. She used to be a TV reporter. This is something we've been laughing about on the podcast this year, Rachel, is like, listen, we've had people hide their jobs in Survivor. I think it's kind of trite at this point and it's unnecessary. There's extreme examples, maybe lawyer if you're super rich, or cop, I guess.
Don't even buy that.
Nobody in the world was going to give a fuck that she was a local TV reporter. I feel that like she was like, guys, I'm Jesus Christ's daughter. Like she thought like the island was going to explode.
In general, I think it's super, super bad, like, gameplay to lie about your profession. It just doesn't matter. Like, it doesn't matter. Half the people on my season lied about their jobs, and like no one cared. Like, it doesn't. When I found out what they were, I wouldn't have been like, oh, Andy, you're not a linguistics major, you're like an AI coder. Like, that doesn't, that's all like, doesn't, I don't understand it anyway. So what's the difference?
Did
like,
you lie?
No.
Oh yeah.
After the game, they're like, are you really a graphic designer? I was like, yes, why would I lie?
Well, here's what's funny to me, and I wish they did a funny editing juxtaposition where she comes clean, like, yeah, I read the 6 o'clock news, and then they do the challenge when the astrophysicist is rattling off facts about the hydrogen in the atmosphere.
Right.
And they're all like, wow, this is amazing, Steven. And she's sweating bullets. She's like, I did a story about the world's largest pizza roll. And he's just talking about nuclear fission.
That's what I mean. If that mattered, everyone would be like, we got to get Steven out. He's too smart, you know? And it's just, I think people just get really hung up on how they're presenting themselves. But the irony of all of it, and this isn't Savannah like specifically, it's like half the people on the season are probably lying. It's the idea that like you have to then lie constantly all the time and be vigilant about the fact that you don't say something that gives away that you were lying. And if you do, people are gonna be like, well, if they lied about that, like what else are they lying about? Because it's like that doesn't matter. So what matters that you've been lying about? So it's just I think
this lie come clean. Like tell her like some other thing that can make trust. Nobody
it did seem to work.
It did seem to work. That was the crazy part. Is Sophie's like, I feel so good that she trusted me.
Yeah. But I think this lie actually hurts her game. So a lot of the people were like, oh, she gives mean girl energy. We heard that line tonight. And I think if she told the story about how she was ostracized as this like news anchor no one liked or whatever her issue was, then I think that might actually like build some bridges with some people. Oh, well, she isn't as cold as we thought she was.
Oh, wait, I do have a question on this. Tommy, I guess it probably wouldn't apply to you. I guess it applied to everybody. If you three, you've already been on it, obviously, Rachel. If you were on Survivor tomorrow, nobody knew who you were at all. Would you volunteer that you worked for Barstool Sports?
No.
Because I do this show, absolutely.
Oh,
all you need is one person to have
No, I'm just saying, like, because like some people don't like Barstool. Like, would you volunteer that you work for Barstool?
I would say it right off the bat because I think there's a chance somebody on the cast would just know me.
Well, I was kind of taking that out of the equation.
Like, yeah, well, if we're taking that out of the equation, then no, I wouldn't reveal that.
You mean like, what if we were like a salesperson at Barstool and like we weren't on camera and we got asked to do it, like, and someone like wouldn't there's no chance anyone would recognize us, then maybe I would lie just because of the misconception that people have for Barstool. But like, I wouldn't think too much about it. I would still say I was in ad sales, but I just wouldn't say what company. Or
yeah, you can like not tell the company. You just
I
think that's fine. But
I was gonna say I'm sitting here talking all this shit, and then like I thought about it. I was like, well, maybe I actually might lie too. But
the only people who should lie are public figures, athletes, and rich people.
Yeah, if you're really rich or you're like Oz the Mentalist, then maybe fucking lie.
I was saying I'm trying to think of like an acceptable list where like, okay, I think maybe like a therapist I could understand lying, because I think if someone's a therapist, they'd be like, all right, they might be really good at reading people and emotionally connecting with them. That's probably something that would, like, I'm trying to think of if I'm on the show and someone tells me they're this job, what would raise a little flag in my mind? I think therapist would. Lawyer,
I think a big wealth. Like if someone was incredibly wealthy.
Oh,
which I think is why lawyer is a thing, because people have like a serious notion that they make a fuck ton of money, which some of them do. But I think that a lot of, and it's like you can debate in court and it's like, Genevieve's a lawyer. She does contract law. Like she doesn't go in the courtroom, and so it's just, there's just a lot of, and lawyers have actually done very well, specifically in the new era. So like, I think lawyers is one of the very few on the list that I think might be acceptable. And therapist is interesting. I don't know. I think maybe you just like say it's a type of therapy that is not like I do. I don't know. Yeah.
Sex therapy, or that's what Denise was.
Yeah. Hey, Denise won being a sex therapist, so maybe not that one.
Ice agent.
Yeah, probably hide that. Immunity challenge was like an endurance pushing a disc up against a thing, whatever.
I like that one actually.
I do
That's
too.
like core. I don't know why they had 2 necklaces. I felt like a very fair challenge for everybody. Although I guess the guys dropped out quicker than the girls, but
the women did better than the men. I don't know if that's their fear was the opposite would happen.
If we do more Pilates, we got stronger
core strength. Maybe.
I thought it was crazy that they couldn't, when they were at first like, all right, after 10 minutes you can't touch the platforms. Like that makes sense. They're like, you can't touch your legs. I was like, what the hell are they gonna do with their hands? Well, I guess
hold them up.
Yeah.
Oh, no, it feels like your thighs. That's big.
Yeah, that seemed extremely painful, but led to another Savannah Sophie showdown. And I'm willing to say we had our first mother off of the season with this showdown we're having. That was last year, I don't know if you remember, Rachel, like I think it was Say or someone last year. It might have been two. No, it wasn't your season. So it was last season where it was like they were having a mother quake. Like I think someone said that on the episode or something. So always look for a mother quake type.
Got it.
I think these two like strong women battling it
What
out.
where on the Richter scale are we for the?
It wasn't like it wasn't too high, you know,
Low to
but
medium.
your house shook a little bit, but nothing got broken.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I really liked that at the end of this endurance challenge, Savannah resorts to like shit talking. Like I really liked that. Like I thought that, and I who knows if it actually got in Sophie's head or if she just happened to drop, but I really liked that she was just like, I'm not even fucking close.
I believed you too.
Immediately, yeah. She said it with conviction for sure.
Yeah, I think she was being genuine, but like it is a good strategy of just like, especially something like that's like, hey, I'm not going to drop. Why are you going to put yourself through this torture? Savannah has grown on me as like she's just sort of an old school villain in a way. Like she hasn't done anything like that crazy villain. She's not like hiding the machetes and stuff, but where it's just like she's competitive. Mm-hmm. She's shit talking during the challenge. Like I respect.
Yeah, same.
She hates everybody. She someone looks at her wrong. She goes, "I hate you. You're dead to me." Like she's awesome.
I like the more like intense, at least in confessionals, right? She's pretty intense with like the way she talks about people. And I'm not sure if that's how she is around camp. Like getting the label of mean girl, again, going back to the occupation thing though, is that because she's like not able to talk about her day-to-day life? Like who knows? Like I think you can come off more cold. Genevieve lied and she definitely came off more cold. She didn't say she was a lawyer, and so it's hard to have conversations sort of about like everyday life if you're hiding such a big part of it. And so I think sometimes that can just read a little bit icier than like when you're not even intending it, because we haven't really seen Savannah give mean girl in social settings, you know. But everyone's saying
I haven't picked up on that, but I was thinking like maybe it's just, again, we see such a sliver of what happened there. But I would guess it's more like she's kind of cold and like isolating herself more than like, I don't get the vibe that like Savannah's going around shit talking like Sage and Christina, being like, like I'm so much prettier than that or whatever, like classic mean girl energy would be. I don't see her doing that. Two things on the challenge. One, does anyone know what Joanne keeps muttering to himself? Are those like names?
Kids' names.
Well, maybe his siblings' names?
They're just kids' names.
There's not that many kids.
I think it's like nephews,
right?
right?
They had a whole montage about them.
I kind of missed that montage, to be honest.
What? When was that?
What happened?
They showed him with his
TV just shut off.
Me? You're saying this happened tonight?
Yes, it did. They did a montage about kids that were important to Juwan. I caught it at the end, and I didn't think they were.
His siblings.
Yes, that's what I said like 5 times. But that's not.
There are siblings.
No, Nate was saying it was his kids.
I know. I
like
corrected him. You don't want to hear me.
Well, they seemed a lot younger, Clemmer. It didn't seem like siblings.
I'm not in charge of his parents. I'm simply saying
siblings.
It's
siblings. All right, got to the bottom of that. And then we had Steven rattling off space facts. I was wondering, I couldn't remember. Maybe it would have been shown, but was there anything that wasn't shown like that on your season, Rachel, of like a long challenge? Like we had the classic Gabler one in 40.
Right. I don't think we had any. I can't remember any challenges where like someone was being kind of like entertaining during one of those things. A lot of them are just people focusing really hard, I think. And we didn't have that many pain endurance challenges either, like that kind. Most of ours were like balance a ball on a board. So you're really just like honed in.
Is it boring? Like they said they were there for 40 minutes. Like even if you're like, I guess if you're competing, it's not boring. But if you're watching, it must be like 40 minutes. I guess nothing else to do, but still like.
Yeah, I think your pace of life is so much slower out there that I think it doesn't feel as long as you think when you don't have your phone for that long already. But I do, and it is kind of the most exciting thing that happens. Like when you're at camp, you're just sitting around doing nothing. So it is interesting. But the one that I was sitting, the challenge where like from last week where they had the tiny footholds or whatever, like I wasn't playing in that, and I was watching like Gabe and Kyle and a few other people participating, and it was exciting. Like you're kind of just like ready. I think there's challenges in the past that went like hours. I think at that point it would be boring. But I thought it was pretty exciting. It's like watching sports, or something.
Yeah.
There's big implications.
That's true.
Yeah. And you're usually rooting for somebody,
Yeah.
So Steven wins for the guys, Savannah wins for the girls, so they're both safe. So the plan to split 3-3 on Rizzo and Savannah goes out the window. And so the new plan is, all right, let's split it instead on Rizzo and Soph, which is also then, in retrospect, why it was such a bad move for Christina to tell Soph that the plan was to split, because then like Soph should be able to figure out in her head, well, all right, Savannah won. The new plan's going to be split on me and Rizzo instead. So her and like Steven are kind of leading that. But then Rizzo just keeps doing a good job getting in people's head. He's telling Jawan that, like, Alex said this to him. Rizzo's basically like, I'm telling some people truths of things Alex said and some that are just completely made up of things Alex said. But he really did a good job of just putting enough doubt on Alex to get the target on him. I was stunned. I actually thought there was a chance Rizzo was actually going to play it tonight, because for the first time in a confessional, he was like, I might play it. Whereas like last week, he was like, I don't care if I come in 10th or if I come in 4th.
Yeah.
It was the first time where it seemed like he actually at least somewhat considered it.
Yeah, I really liked the quote he had about Alex too, where he was like, if you're loyal to all, you're loyal to none, which I thought was, interesting, and probably one of the things that he was whispering in people's ears.
Yeah, it was crazy when Alex, early episode, they were like, who do you want to work with? He's like, I want to work with everybody. It's like, you can't do that.
Right.
Yeah.
Wait, Rachel, can I back up? This has been bugging me, and it's going to sound mean, but when he's chanting his siblings' names and stuff, did stuff like that happen on your season? And do you ever feel like stuff is performative for the cameras? Like, someone's just doing this because they want to look cute, or they want to look like a hero, or this or that, or like, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
like,
yeah, I know what you mean. I don't think it really happened on my season. I think that people would like win something and be really like would cry because they were excited about their kids or their parents or whoever's seeing it, which doesn't feel performative. That felt genuine. I can't think of anything where
I don't know if I'm
like,
too cynical for this show. Like when they do like the letters from home, I'm always like, we've talked about this. Like, you haven't seen your family in 2 weeks. You took a vacation. Like, what's the waterworks all about?
That I can speak to a little. I didn't get my loved ones letters on my season, but you get them after, even if you don't get them. And you think it's like a couple weeks, but it really, like, it felt like I played 26 days and it felt like I was out there for 3 months, like legit. Plus, you don't have communication for like over a week before the game starts.
True.
So you have to add a week too. So it's like, it really is. And it's a long fucking time without your phone. Go like 1 day without your phone and see how long the day feels. Okay. It's like a lot. So, and I think for me, at least, it was less like I, like needed to hear from my husband, and more just kind of a reminder that the thing that is like 24/7 running, the like simulation you're in, is not actually real life. Like, I think that you lose yourself in that, and having the home thing like brings you back to the fact that you're like, oh, I'm a human being that like this isn't actually my life, because it feels all consuming, and it really is like stressful to be in fight or flight that long. What?
Can that hurt someone's game? Can that lose your focus of like your ultimate goal to win the game?
I mean, I think it probably could. It depends on the person, probably. But when I got my letters the day after the game ended, I didn't cry like pretty much the whole game. I didn't have like a sob meltdown. I did not stop crying like the second I got those letters until I got home. Like, it just like triggered whatever, and yeah. So it is. I don't think that's performative at all, because who wants to fucking ugly cry on national television? Like, nobody wants that. Like, no one looks cute or hot doing that. Like, so I think other things can be performative when people like, have a catchphrase that they want to say all the time or something. But I feel like
Uncle Jay.
I fucking hate Uncle Jeff, man. I hate it. I feel like everyone wants to have like their thing, and that feels performative. That's more performative in my mind than like Juwan reciting his siblings' names. I just feel like that is something that a lot of people actually like draw strength from in a thing like that, where they're just trying to distract themselves by, like, I kept thinking during some of the challenges, I was just like, I can change my husband and my life. I can change our lives. Like, that stuff, like, just because I wasn't saying it out loud, it was still running through my head, and so I think that doesn't feel that way to me, but other stuff definitely does. Uncle Jeff does.
Yeah. So yeah, vote itself, kind of touched on at the beginning, but Rizzo survives again, keeps his idol. Again, I think if you're obviously Rizzo, big winner of this. I think the big losers are Sage and Jawan of this vote. I think they've had such a chance to take control of the game. They had a good thing going with their bottoms up alliance with Steven, starting with the Shannon vote. They make the big move to blindside Nate, and then they're sitting on top of the world. And last week they vote out MC, which I was like, all right, this doesn't make any sense, but it's like, all right, maybe one blunder. But now another blunder like this, you're just letting Rizzo, Soph, and Savannah grow more powerful as long as you keep those three around and there's less people in the game besides them. And added fact of having an idol. And then they obviously don't know about Savannah's extra vote and Soph's knowledge is power advantage, which nobody knows about, which I'm hoping has a big reveal. Like, I love that she hasn't told anyone about it. And I hope that at some point that has a payoff where she's able to take someone's idol or extra vote or whatever it is. But all of a sudden that trio looks like they are in really good shape.
Yeah, it's so interesting to me because even if like Juan also I don't get why they didn't trick or at least just act like they were with the the Soph, Rizzo, Savannah trio. They're like, yeah, you guys will all vote Alex. Those three vote Alex. Then the Sage, Jawan, Steven? Who's the third in that one?
Yeah.
Is it supposed to be Steven, right? But then he voted for Sophie, so he was left out.
Yeah. So that was the other thing is they burnt. So they had that bottoms up alliance where it was Sage, Jawan, and Steven from the tribe swap. Then they just left Steven out to dry tonight.
But they could have split three. They could have still split it 3-3, and they could have voted for Rizzo. And then if he doesn't play the idol and it's tied, they vote Rizzo out. And if it does, then you still vote Alex or whoever. And
if he plays the idol, you're okay anyway because it's 3-3 still.
Exactly.
I don't know why they didn't do this.
It's really weird to me because it seems so clear that Juwan and Sage don't want to work with that 3, and yet they're not really working against them. They're just helping them.
I feel
Sage makes life so much easier for them.
Sage takes things really personally, it seems like, and won't work with people. At least that's what the vision we're getting. And it can really be a hindrance. Sometimes you got to play with the enemy a little bit. Even if you don't like him, just tell yourself, I'll get him later. But you got to at least kind of play with them a little bit so you can do things. There's no realistic way Rizzo should still have that idol unplayed.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy they didn't flush it again. Is he going to play it next week? Is he just going to keep getting through vote after vote? Because at some point now it's become scary. They don't have the votes to split. And they don't even know about the extra vote, but they don't have the votes to split. So he can, play the idol and they're going to risk it rebounding on any of them now. It's so much riskier the longer you wait. I don't get it at all.
Crazy. Yeah, I think I brought up last week where I was like, I am very much, and they kind of touched on this a little bit at Tribal tonight, actually, where it's maybe this is another evolution of the game. But I've always been very much, you find that idol, don't tell anyone. Why tell anyone? But, it's probably worse. The worst thing is to tell 2 other people, but it almost looks like the best thing or the second best thing might be everybody knowing because it puts this fear in of I don't think we can vote for him because he can just play it, right? He's basically bought himself 3 immunity. It's an idol that's now worked 3 times in a row, keeping him safe essentially.
Yeah,
and he has
this time he didn't even have to threaten to use it. He didn't even have to wave it in front of their eyeballs. He just said, hey, vote that guy. They're like, all right.
Well, they started to vote because of it.
Well, they planned to, but then didn't.
They didn't, though. They fucked it up. He only got 1 vote.
Yeah, but that set it all into motion, I guess. But yeah, right. If he didn't have the idol, it would have gone differently.
Yeah, he's getting sort of implicit immunity.
Yeah.
Time after time.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's wild. It's wild that
they could have. Well, what I was thinking was going to happen the whole time was that Rizzo was going to get Savannah to use the extra vote, Because with the extra vote, I think they had the numbers.
Well, they talked about that a little bit, right? Going into tribal, they're like, listen, if we can just not use the idol, you don't use your extra vote, we're final 7 guaranteed.
Correct.
Yeah, that is actually a good point.
I thought they were going to waste the extra vote right there. I thought they were going to say, you know what, like
it actually would have been smart. That would have been smart. Now that I think about it, like they should have used the. I mean, obviously, hindsight.
They would have had to take a risk. Like they
Not
could
if
have
you're
guaranteed
Savannah.
numbers with the extra vote. They could have guaranteed.
No, not if you're Savannah. That's true. Because Savannah.
Don't use the extra vote now. Wait.
But
No,
Rizzo probably could have talked her into it, or maybe. Like if I was Rizzo, that's what I probably would have tried to do.
Because if it's a
I would have been like, "Fuck you, I'm not doing that."
If it's a 3-3-3 split, that extra vote breaks it. And
right, but they seemed very certain that they had Juwan and Sage.
Yeah.
For whatever reason, so they must have gotten some sort of assurances, which is again, it's crazy. Like we spent the whole episode with Juwan and Sage just saying, "I want Savannah and Rizzo out." So how did they end up voting with them at the end?
He's the most manipulatable guy we've seen in a long time.
Who?
Juwan.
Yeah.
Like any time somebody comes to him with like breaking news, he's like, "Holy shit!" Like he takes it at 100% face value and makes all his decisions based off of it. It's crazy.
Yeah, you just have to be the last person in his ear before it's tribal.
Correct.
That's a lot of Survivor in general, honestly. It's just being the like last conversation that happens. Yeah.
All right. So, anything else from the episode? We're getting to
let's see.
Any notes that stood out that we didn't mention?
For me,
I think we covered it all.
I think I'm good.
Yeah.
I just thought Alex's line, like made the whole place crack up when he's just like, "Shouldn't have played both sides." I thought that was great.
Oh, that was funny. That's a lot of self-awareness for that moment, honestly.
Yeah.
And then he goes, "You all talk. What the fuck, man?"
I thought that. I liked Alex. I thought it actually, and like they hammered home, I feel like a lot early in the season is like DC job or whatever, working in politics. And it's kind of funny that like that was kind of his downfall, like being like the guy talking to everyone, like
too diplomatic.
Yeah. Like it was a fitting end for him, but I liked him. I don't think he's someone that probably is going to be on the top of their list to have back on another season. But
no, but like
I wouldn't hate it if he was.
This cast is super likable. I feel like Rachel's cast and this cast is the most likable group of the new era. Like the ones I would most want to like grab a beer with.
Yeah, I'd agree with that.
I think, and maybe it's because I've hung out with some people in Rachel's group, but we've met people. But I just feel like this is just it seems like a good group.
The Hoboken Mike, Hot Jonathan, that were a good.
That was that's
that was
fair.
a good one too. I'm trying. Who won that season?
Marianne.
Okay, so I'd throw that out.
She's annoyed me.
She's lovely.
Seems like a very nice person. From what we saw on the show, it's not on my top list of people.
I don't want to. I don't want to hang out with Gabler.
Oh,
no. Actually, I probably would.
Yeah. Gabler's a ball of energy. I met him for the first time a couple weeks ago and was not prepared
for heart
surgery. No, he was wearing a Metallica shirt, but it said Gabler instead of Metallica. Yeah.
That's awesome.
Oh, yeah.
And he's just like, he was like, Rachel, like he's just a bundle of energy. He seems like a really cool guy.
Gabler on the show.
He gave away his $1 million. Look.
Yeah,
I
that
was
was
never
crazy.
giving that away. Okay, that's a different kind of person.
I had a question for you, Rachel. When you won, could you hear about this? Like people win the lottery. It's different because you earned your money, but regardless, people come out of the woodwork. It's like, oh, can I borrow this? Or I have this idea, or they try to sell you on something to kind of get. Did you get any of that?
No, I mean, not really. I think that I had more anxiety about it than actually anything that happened. But it was kind of like, am I going to have to like buy lunch every time I go out with someone for the rest of my life now? You know, like, it's like a weird thing to win public money. But I also think people understand that, $600,000 after taxes is really like not a crazy amount of money. It's not the kind of money. I think it would be different if it was like Powerball or something. You know? So not really.
I remember when I was a kid watching Who Wants to Be a Millionaire. I used to think if you won that game show, you didn't have to work for the rest of your life.
I mean, back in like 2000, that might have been.
Like I truly thought that.
Yeah. Like I think that anyone who's expecting you to buy lunch for the rest of your life is it's crazy.
Again, my own anxieties, like being like, it's just a weird thing for every single person you've ever known to know about you, you know?
Right.
Like,
Yeah.
plenty of people make money, but like you don't really actually know how much money they have.
Right.
It's also, like you said, 600,000 after taxes, which is obviously a lot of money. But if I knew someone made $600,000 a year, which is more, they wouldn't just win that once; they'd be making that forever.
Right.
I wouldn't expect them to like buy me everything.
Right,
Like,
right.
obviously, it's a good amount of money, but it's not like they're not like the millionaire.
Yeah.
Headline: Rachel does not think $1 million is a lot of money.
Unappreciative of
Unappreciative winner complains about prize.
Trump
Complains
change.
about taxes.
Well, taxes are theft.
We'll do some more questions, but I want to wrap up with our winner. So, Rachel, we end every episode with our winner pick, who has 0% chance of winning the game, 0.0, and then a jib cut. Some in this episode you just said, I like the cut of their jib. Now, some guests don't know what that means. Have you heard that phrase before?
I have, yes.
All right. I think it was, was it Saul who didn't know? But whatever, yeah. I like the cut of their jib. Nate, you can start. I'll start. Winner pick.
Excuse me.
I think I have to finally get off Steven. I said last week it was a make or break episode for him. He's likable, but he ended up on the wrong side of the vote again. So I'll switch I guess I'll just take Rizzo. Like, he's playing so well. I'm gonna join the Rizzo train.
He's got such a target now, though.
But he's got an idol.
I'm on Rizzo too, Tommy. Same reasons. Like I just think he seems to be playing like next level kind of games.
I'm on original Sophie, little Soph, not challenge Soph.
Me too.
But
I just think she's getting a little swallowed up in the edit recently.
Savannah just fucking rocks. Like, I can't get enough of Savannah, and she could be a winner where everybody looks around as like her game just fucking rocked. Like, maybe little Soph just isn't. I could see her not. God, she's playing so well too, though. In my opinion, it's between the two of them for me. Rizzo, I think they have to get him out. I think eventually they have to realize that they have to get him out. Like, they can't just let him skate to win it. They can't. Like, someone has to get this guy out at some point. So I'm between Soph and Savannah. 50-50. I'll stick with Soph though.
Yeah, I see like Rizzo, Sophie, and Savannah as like kind of a group. And Rizzo has officially, like, he's victimized everybody now. Like, I'm pretty sure like everybody aside from those two people on his side have been like, how the hell are we not flushing out his idol? And then proceeded to not flush out his idol. So I think he's got the biggest target on his back. Savannah apparently gives off that like mean girl energy because multiple people have said it. And then that kind of like leaves Sophie, who I think if they like can knock if they knock Savannah and Rizzo out before the final three, and Sophie kind of gets like lumped in with like their moves and everything. She plays a great game. Everyone loves her. She had to do so much early on. Like, I think she's in a great spot to win.
Yeah, I'm the same. I picked Sophie really early, and I feel like I gotta stick with her because I think she's the most under the radar of them and is probably making the least waves with other people socially and seems well liked, and like you said, has this like huge underdog story to be like, you know, the final two of the original tribe, all of that. Yeah.
I actually think I've been big on her all season. I think tonight was the first episode that made me put her winner chances down. I think I said the same thing about Alex 2 or 3 weeks ago, where it felt like I know it's like big in like the when people try to analyze the edit, right, of like who's going to win. It's like I don't feel like we're seeing the game through her eyes anymore. Like, I feel like she's kind of like getting lost in the sauce, and like someone. Right, to Christina, someone talked about her and they were like, she's just going wherever. Like they were like, she's just kind of going wherever, like won't get her voted out. It doesn't feel like she's being viewed as like the major player anymore. It's kind of what I felt like happened with Alex a few weeks ago, where he was just getting like, yeah, she's part of this trio. I mean, maybe it'll flip if she uses her
Knowledge is power. Yeah.
We'll take that from Rizzo.
Wait till she takes Christina's idol from her.
Yeah,
I'm just
but
saying.
Tommy, I was gonna say, like, she was like a power player. Now she's kind of like bobbing in the waves, but like she still has power and allies. Like, just because she went 2 days, on the island without making a power move doesn't discredit her either.
And that changes so fast. Like next week, 10 minutes into the episode, she could be making.
You gotta rest the game sometimes. Like you can't just hammer her all the time. Like I think like you said, ebbs and flows. Where like John just said, like next week she could be the focal point again. There's a lot of stories in this episode too. She got swallowed up, but it was like for good reason.
And her knowledge is power. She's got to take that from Rizzo, right? Like I think she's got
Christina.
Well, she's got to. I think she can try to wait out Christina.
I know, but maybe she finds out,
then take it from Rizzo, and then that's how she gets rid of Rizzo. And that's a huge move. Like that's a huge move on her resume, which is really the only move she needs. Like that would be big enough that like that's her move of the game.
Yeah, timing is so important with that though, because the second she does that, everyone's on her ass the next vote.
Yeah, right. It would have to fall in her direction. Like, you got to get a little lucky. But if she gets the opportunity, that would be awesome.
And then 0.0, someone just says no chance to win. I mean, I've used it on like Christina, other Sophie so far. I don't think either of them are winning, but I'm going to put a duo here. He was in this category. I took him out. Jawan is back in 0.0 and Sage is staying in 0.0. I think after that vote tonight, letting Rizzo slip through the cracks again, like they've now burnt bridges. They're mercenaries, but they're pissing everybody off while not advancing themselves any further in the game. They're not winning.
Yeah. Sage is my 0.0. She just always seems to be like a step behind, and the longer the game has gone on, it's kind of exposed maybe like she's not the best game player. So I got to say Sage, even though I like her, but I think she's on the way out.
Yeah, clearly Christina is a 0.0, unfortunately, because that's my mother, but 0.
I guess I'll go with you, Clemmer. I'll go with Sage. Both Sage and Jawan, I've been like down on, and then they kind of like win me back over because I see how much everybody else seems to respect them. But then, like again, like this episode today, it was just like that was rough. Like I just don't think they can win.
Yeah, I'm gonna go Steven, I think, because I just feel like we haven't seen the game from Steven's eyes since the pre-merge. Like I think like episode 1 was Steven's biggest episode. I don't think we've had a bigger one since, and I just don't think that we hear anything about what he's thinking or what he's doing, and no one's talking about him. And I think that if he was the winner, this wouldn't be the case. He's
a background character.
I mentioned this earlier. I mean, it really feels like he should have been able to take the reins of the majority that is not Savannah, first Sophie, and
because he was in
Rizzo. And Rizzo. Like
he was uniquely
should have
positioned.
ran that.
Yeah, where he had the bottoms up alliance with Sage and Jawan from the other tribe, and then he had alliances with Christina, MC, and
Sophie.
Yeah, Christina, MC, I guess Alex was in that. But like he was sort of the connector between like old LO and this new sort of misfit alliance. And I'm taking him off my winner pick for the first time. Who knows? Next week, Steven, you may find your ass in Europe.
Well, and again, I just want to go back really quick to like Steven lost Sophie this episode, and it immediately bit him in the ass because he was left out of the vote. And I feel like if that hadn't happened, if Sophie had come back and they had not acted so put out about it, that like maybe Sophie would have clued in Christina and Steven to the plan, like about Alex, and they could have either done something or decided to do a split like we talked about. It's just like losing Sophie and having her defect to like the Savannah, Rizzo, Sage, Jawan was like absolutely catastrophic for like yellow original, like that, those people. Like it's,
Steven's the kind of character who could fall off a log in episode 2 and nobody, we'd be like, what was that guy's name who fell off the tree like a couple seasons ago? That's Steven to me. He's just kind of just like around.
I know, but he feels like there's so much potential there.
I know.
That's where I am with him. Seamless transition here into the jib cuts. I'm going to give Steven my jib cut. I know we just tore him down, but I liked what he was doing at the challenge when he was listening off the space facts. And I like
he's clearly well liked, right?
Yeah,
he's
also very bright.
Nightmares, talk about the nightmares after he killed the chickens. So, Steven, good news, bad news. Bad news is you have no chance of winning the game. Good news is I like the cut of your jib.
I like your space facts.
I think I have a hard time ruling out people that are very bright, and I feel like he's very bright. So I have a hard time saying 0.0 on him, but all of your arguments made a lot of sense though, so I can't defend him too much.
Who's your jib cut, Clemmer?
My jib cut is Rizzo for having balls of Saturn and just sitting there and allowing that idol to sit in his pocket. Tribe after tribe after. I wouldn't have the stomach for that. So I give this kid a ton of credit.
My jib cut has to go to Savannah. The strength it takes to tell people that you used to read the local news, like I know I couldn't do that. To see her really come clean like that, it was very emotional in my apartment tonight. If I could give her $1 million, I would.
You're mocking the jib cut. You're ruining the whole thing. Like this is we're all speaking from the heart here, and you're trashing it.
Excuse me?
Yeah,
I invented the jib cut.
Yeah, Nate did. To be fair, he did invent the jib cut.
No, I really like her.
You invent it doesn't mean you can ruin it.
I like her ruthless aggression in the game. I like that she doesn't sit back and she takes force in the game. She doesn't let the game come to her. She takes power in the game. I like everything about what she's done besides saving blackheads in jars. I think that's disgusting.
No,
that's Sage.
Oh, that's Sage. Yeah. I get them confused sometimes. I face blindness. But but no, I do like the cut of her jib, and I was emotional, Clemmer. Fuck you. You can't tell me what I'm emotional about.
John Rich?
Yeah,
because I want to stick to my guns earlier, and I don't want to do a repeat because I would probably go with Rizzo too. I thought Christina was being very genuine giving Juwan her food, and I thought everybody said, "Oh, that's nice of you, Christina." And I think in general, if you do a nice thing, that is good for you in life and in the game of Survivor.
I like that.
And Rachel?
I'm going to pick Rizzo for a different reason than Clemmer, because it wasn't so much about his idol. It's about the fact that I am inclined to dislike players that are really cocky, and everything about how he speaks about his game, and like I would be like, this guy, but it's working week after week. It's working, and at some point it tips the scale to just being like, I respect that, and he's matching what he's saying, so I do like the cut.
Rachel, could I follow up on that?
Yeah,
it feels like, and I want to know if it ever felt like this to you on the island. It feels like he's playing in easy mode sometimes. Like he turned on Madden, he's just playing on the easiest setting, or he's playing chess against someone who doesn't know where the pieces go. Like sometimes it just seems like he has a vision of the game that everybody he's playing with doesn't have. That's how like he comes across. Mm-hmm. So it's like he's being cocky because it just feels like he knows every move before it happens in a way. Yeah. Like he knows he doesn't have to use his idol because he knows exactly how it's going to go. Did you ever have that feeling on the island where like he has zero worry? Everybody talks about the paranoia nonstop. He has none of that. Did you ever feel that way?
No, I didn't. Even when I had an idol and knew I wasn't going home, I was nervous as fuck. Like I think that is it. I think it's probably a little bit of his age. You know, he's very young, and so I think his like confidence is very like unfettered. And then I think also it's the idea that his whatever he brings to this game, this social, like whatever people read about him, the way he gets people to just like listen to him and open up and not be intimidated, like that. When you have all the information, the game is easy. Like the game is much easier. And I think the thing about Survivor is you just never know if the information you have is right. But for whatever reason, he is knowing repeatedly, like who is lying, who's telling the truth, who's with him, who's not. And I don't think it's on easy mode. I think he is just like OP'd for like whatever is going on right now. So yeah, big props to him because I never felt that way out there.
All right, some questions. If chat has any, I'll star them, but I've a couple off the top just for Rachel in general. Now that we're put a ball in that episode. We had Gabe on last season for a recap, and he told us about how on your flight back from Fiji, I believe, to LA, he had literally no money in his bank account to buy Wi-Fi on the airplane, and you bought it for him with your new $1 million. Do you even remember doing that?
I don't. I'm so glad I did, though. I'm glad he, like,
credit to you. But I just want to know in general, like, so I always ask people that have been on in recent seasons of the first time where I know you guys fly back to LA and you get your phone back and like turning your phone on for the first time and joining reality and all the texts. So what was that feeling like? And then combined with, for you as a winner, like what is like going through your head of like, I don't know who you're allowed to tell. I assume you can tell like your immediate family or whatever, but how hard was it to be like, I just fucking won Survivor and I can't talk about it for, I guess for you it was what, 6 months or something?
Yeah, something like that. So first question, getting my phone back. It was crazy. We actually got them. I think we're the reason that other seasons don't get them till they land in LA now. But we got them when we were still in Fiji, like boarding the plane. But I think a few people made phone calls and they were very upset. So I think now they get them once they land, which is kind of funny. But I remember they handed me my phone and I held it like this, and it was like a foreign. I was like, I don't remember how to hold a phone. Like truly just felt alien in my hand, and like the haptic feedback when we turned them back on, like I jumped. Like it was so bright. Like it was really weird how quickly we grew accustomed to being like, I live outside now. I remember I was like, right after the game ended, we were going back to Ponderosa and I was like, I gotta pee. And I like ducked into the woods. They're like, there's a bathroom. I was like, oh, like it doesn't, like you just are so used to it at that point.
It's Tom Hanks and then a castaway. He like sleeps on the floor of the hotel room.
Yeah, and people do that. I had like, when I got home, I woke up the first couple nights and the red light on the TV in my bedroom made me think it was a camera. And I literally thought I was like still in the game. I like leaned over and kissed my husband and went into a full-on panic that I had just kissed Sam on TV and I like ruined my life. I'm not joking. I literally was like, oh my God. And my husband woke up. He's like, what? And like, I had to explain. He's like, you're not on Survivor. Like you're home. Like it was wild. So, and I think that so I told my husband immediately, like in the airport, when he picked me up, and I didn't tell anybody else in my family. So that was a lot of fun for me because I like knew that they were gonna think I was going home multiple times and then I just wouldn't. And so I was really excited. I think it's different for everybody, but knowing that you win makes it a little bit more fun to kind of like, you know, I know a lot of people were like, I didn't tell my family how I did, but I told them I didn't win. Cause I think it's hard to have people kind of like, oh, I know you won, you know, and I like, but it was very fun. Does that answer your other question? I don't remember.
Yeah. That was good. And then another one I had that we ask everyone who's been on your season.
Wait,
how old did you think Sue was? Because we were laughing when she was telling people she was 45, right? She's actually, I believe it was 57. Did you ever raise an eyeball?
59.
She turned 59 the last day of the game.
Mud all over her face.
So what's so funny about that is that somehow I missed the conversation. I didn't find out Sue's age until like Final Four. When we were sitting around camp and I was like, Sue, I've never asked you how old you are. She's like, I'm 45. My husband was at the time 42 years old. I was like, no, you're not. But I think I was like, oh, nice. I think it was just like, so yeah, I mean, I assumed she was in her like 60s. I think I probably pegged her for earlier 60s. Earlier 50s than later 50s. But she was giving like grandma, you know, she's a grandma.
Follow-up question to that. Clemmer, the man up there, once said that if he, and give her a good look at your face, if he was walking down the street with Sue,
I'm gray hair,
people would more likely think that Sue was his mother than his wife. If you saw Clemmer and Sue
I think I'm getting set up here.
No, it's just an honest question.
It's just an honest question. Would you be more likely to be, oh, that's that old man's mother, or would it be that's his wife?
Now you got to see Sue's partner. Very good looking.
Nothing about her looks, just simply the age.
No,
Right.
nothing
I'm
about like.
saying he also like I would say you look about the same age as Ernie. And so I would definitely lean husband, not mother. Sorry.
That's crazy. So I turned 46.
The white in your beard is not helping.
What's that?
The like gray in your beard doesn't help.
I'm 40. I'll be 46 on Sunday. Like I'm not young. And I don't dye my hair. But I'm not 58, 59. That's crazy.
That's 10 years.
My wife is old enough to be like my wife's 36. So like that's.
I'm not saying you look 58, 59. I'm saying you look closer in age to her than you do to like her. Then she could never be your mother.
She could, dude. We're 12 years apart. I mean, it's like that crazy. That's not no. I'm sticking with this. You're just no. This is all because Tommy has a bias against me because I'm the only person that's over like 32 in the office. So that's just Tommy's weird bias.
That's not that. Nate's 37.
Yeah, but Nate's
like. This
Clemmer,
is
I like the cut of your jib, but it's a losing
Yeah.
battle for you here.
No, I'm set up in this thing. No, this is not true. You're wrong. Everyone's wrong. I'm right. Me.
All right, we got here from Larry to Rachel. You've said you're not thrilled with how your win would be ranked against others. Would you change anything even though you won?
I don't know if I've ever said I'm
Have
not
you said that?
thrilled.
I was going to say,
that,
I'm not sure if I can fact check that.
I think I said like, I think I'm a pretty middle ranked winner, which I think is accurate. I think people that say my game's shit are wrong, and people that say I'm the best ever are wrong. So I think that the truth is in the middle.
This show had you and Genevieve as the two potential winners, pretty much from merge down.
Love to hear it.
No, I think Rachel, if I remember correctly, I think she like blossomed more late. You did,
yes.
I think, from what I remember. Like it was more after. There was like one specific episode for you. I don't remember.
Yeah, you had a confessional like on a cliff.
It was like, oh, she's got a good chance. I think it was so shocking about your win is like that you, and I'm sure this was shocking for you. Like you won as I think you may have even talked about this as like a Mike Holloway like challenge beast, like idols, advantages. Like I'm sure if you told yourself on day 0 that like that's how you're gonna win, you'd be like, what?
Yeah, no, I could have listed 20 ways I thought I could win, and that wouldn't have been on the list. So,
right.
I mean, as far as the question goes, I think that what I would have changed if I could and still win was like be better at like knowing that people were lying to me, be better at the aspects of the game that I really thought I would be really good at that I kind of wasn't. But then I turned out to be much better at other things that I didn't expect to be. So, I mean,
Sam tried to use that against you in his tribal speech. He's like, well, she had all the idols. I was like, all right, good try.
Yeah, I think the problem with Sam and I getting to the end, other than him basically saying to everybody that he couldn't beat me if we got there together, which was what I was like focused on at Final Tribal, was that he was like, I was the underdog, I was on the bottom, I did this, but that was also my story. And I like had a more like spectacular like way of having that like come through at the end. And so I like Sam was a great competitor and would have had a ton of win scenarios. They just couldn't have involved me, you know? So
Got another one here. Kevin Sullivan. I don't really understand this question, so I'm going to change it. Where she was given the reward to leave tribal council. That's when Saul gave it to you. The question I'm going to ask is that where did you go?
I went back to camp.
Oh, like they just took you right back to camp on the boat?
Yeah.
Gotcha. I don't know if you like waited somewhere. I don't know.
No, I actually got back to camp and just like sat in the dark. It was like, cause there was no fire and I couldn't find the flint because I think it was in Kyle's pocket or something. And like,
you were alone, right?
I was completely alone and I just sat there for like an hour and a half till everyone else got back. It kind of sucked because if there was fire, it would have been fine, but I was like cold and just couldn't see shit. You can't see anything.
You ever go like, hey, camera guy, what's your deal? Like, where are you from?
They won't talk to you.
Yeah, I mean, we even did that when I did literally one day there. It was like nonstop talking to the cameraman at night, trying to get him to crack, being like, what time is it? What time is it? And they don't answer. And I remember when we were allowed to talk again, or they were allowed to talk to us after. We're like, does like the real cast of Survivor do that? Do they try to talk to you? And he was like, all the time. Like they try to talk to you all the time.
Yeah. You kind of learn not to talk to the cameramen because they do not speak to you unless they're like move. But you're like the producers and stuff that are out there, we would try to get, but then they'll just yell at you because they can't, anytime you're referencing somebody not on the show, they can't use that footage. So they'll constantly be like, stop. Like
Wait,
they'll
what do you
yell
mean?
at you.
Like an actor or something?
No. I mean, like if we're at camp, if the 5 of us are at camp and they're filming 24/7 and I'm like, hey, Joe, whatever, they can't use that footage now because I'm talking about who the fuck's Joe. Like America doesn't know, right? So like they want as much footage as humanly possible that they can use. And so if Clemmer and John said something to each other on the side when I said that, they now can't use it because like no one knows who the hell that is. So like they shut that down like really all the time. You really don't get any, like I would even reference, I was always the first one up, and I could always tell when morning was actually coming because the shift changes like from the night people to the morning people.
Yeah,
and I would just be like, oh, the birds are here. And they'd be like, stop calling us birds. Like they just like, they don't like you talking about them at all. So yeah.
I have a question. How did winning like change your life? Like, did you have a job you liked? And if you didn't, do you then have to like stay in this job? Not that 600,000 is going to like you. That's enough to like potentially have a career shift or something like that. Like, but you can't do anything yet because it kind of puts you in a weird spot.
Yeah.
And I don't know if winning just did change your life at all.
Yeah. So I was working at General Motors, not loving it, very corporate. And I didn't quit right away. I, went through the season. It was kind of like, it was funny because everyone was like, I know you didn't win because you wouldn't be here if you did. and I was just like, oh, I'm just biding my time. But in the spring, and it was also like I didn't really know what I wanted to do next. Like Survivor's a lot, so I just wanted to get through the airing. And then in the spring I started designing some puzzles with a friend of mine, and we ended up designing a board game. And so I ended up quitting my job to like pursue that, and it did. I mean, it's changed my life in the sense that I would never be able to do that. I would be working full time and also trying to do this on the side, and so I don't know how long.
Tell us more about that. Hungry, right?
It's a jigsaw puzzle board game called Puzzle Hungry Umami Rush, and it's a Japanese themed restaurant game. So basically, we're all chefs, and we're like plating food, but the food is all puzzles of Japanese food. And you draw cards. You can like sabotage people, give them health code violations, which basically like delay them from like puzzling. And there's some strategy, but it's mostly like speed puzzling meets kind of like chaotic like card drawing, like fun sabotage. And it's on Kickstarter. It's actually got less than a day left of the Kickstarter. We smashed our goals. We're like over 250% funded. So please check it out. We got
my wife loves puzzles, loves games. When can I buy this for her? Like when is
so it's you pre-order it now, it'll come in the spring. But you can buy it right now. So probably easier to do playresolve.com, playresolve.com, because there's a link to the Kickstarter there. There's I can't really like.
Also, I'm looking at it's in your Instagram bio. The Kickstarter.
Yes, my links in my Instagram bio.
And I'll put it in the when we're done with this, I'll add it to the YouTube description.
Thank you. And so if you order before the campaign ends tomorrow, there's like extras. We like hit some stretch goals, so there's like extras that you'll get. You'll be able to like order the game after that, but then you won't get the extra stuff. So please check it out. It's been a labor of love, and I can't believe it's almost over.
That's awesome.
Yeah, sounds awesome. I really like the sound of that game.
Thanks.
You know what? Unless you guys have any more, this will be the last one. Just because I feel bad for this girl. For Rachel, from Maria, can you give her a shout out? Because the last person from Survivor to give her one was Scoopin', and we all know what happened to him.
Be careful giving her a shit. It's dangerous for her.
Maria, are you trying to damn me? Maria, I hope this shout out, covers the redacted shout out that you got long ago.
Rachel just cursed herself.
Yeah,
that's dangerous.
I don't know if I can curse myself into that, but maybe something else.
Nate's trying.
I don't know if you can talk about this, but if you can't, then don't. But I'll ask it. Did you get a call for season 50?
I did not get a call.
Oh,
I feel like
wow.
if I didn't get a call, they can't tell me I can't say that, right? That's not.
Yeah,
it's not a thing.
Did you want to call?
That's surprising.
Yeah, I wasn't surprised until every On Fire host except me was on 50.
Maybe they just need a host. But
well,
wait,
no,
who from 47 is on it?
Genevieve, which is totally great, and I'm happy for her. Obviously, she's my winner pick.
I was shocked Andy wasn't on.
Me too.
Yeah. I think there's some 47 got pretty snubbed in the 50. There's 3 people from 48, 2 people from 49, 3 people from 46, and 1 person from 47. So the seasons around us got like 8 people, and we got 1. So
Did you want to
yours
call?
is considered. I mean, we'll see how this one finishes up, but I think yours is considered one of, if not the best of the new era. Probably.
I think so too, but
Yeah.
I don't know if everyone shares that sentiment.
I think it's definitely. I think at worst people would have it like top 3. I mean, 41 and 42 are so bad. Like they're not even in contention.
I like 42.
Really? I
won
don't know.
42?
Maybe
Marianne,
did
but
this
that's
already.
a really dynamic. You had like a lot of like good beefs. I don't know. I like that one.
Would you have gone if they called you?
Yeah, probably. I mean, I think that I would have liked a call. I never expected to be on 50. I would have liked to get a feeler call to make it feel like they maybe even considered me.
Would you go back? Like, I know some winners, they're like, I don't want to, like, I already did it. I don't want to, like, potentially, like, not win. If they called you, say, for 55, like, would you be?
Yeah, I think I would definitely. I mean, it's a lot, but it's also like I'm a adventure junkie. I'm a push myself junkie. Like it would be very hard to say no, I think. And it's just like, I think I would go in being like, there's no fucking way I'm going to win, so it's just kind of as long as your expectations are like manageable, I think that it's fine. I think at 55, like maybe I have a very slim shot of winning. I think on 50, no shot. I think the recency bias would have eaten me alive. Like they might have kept me for some puzzles and then cut me the second I got to merge. Like there's no way I get any footing, I don't think, with that recent of a win. But I don't know. You never know.
Yeah, but the benefit is Survivor 50 is so many big personalities.
That's true.
From so many seasons that it's easier to blend in than like 55. Who knows? Maybe you're the only winner. Or there's only a couple winners.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. My hope, honestly, is like 60s like winners at War 2. I think that's my best shot at a second go would be like with a bunch of other people. Because I think even if it's like even 55, it's like a couple winners. I think just having that label, they're not going to let you like sniff the end.
Yeah.
I was going to say, speaking of Survivor 50, just announced, I believe it's February 25th, and it's a 3-hour season premiere. Wild.
They have to get a bunch of people out.
Yeah. How many boots do we think? 2, 3?
2 or 3.
I mean, it's 24 people to start, so I bet that
that could be 3.
I bet at least 2 are out, maybe 3. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a long.
Winner picks for 50 is going to be the hardest thing we ever do.
It's just Genevieve. That's the winner pick. Come on.
Yeah.
She was good, man. She was good.
All right, that's it. We went a little long, but good conversation. You guys got anything else?
Good. Nice to meet you, Rachel.
Thank you. It was so much fun.
Yeah.
Thanks for coming on. Check out the Puzzle Hungry Kickstarter.
Yes,
I'll put it in the bio. But if for some reason I forget, which I won't, I'll do it in 2 minutes.
I can text you the link too, Tommy, just to.
Yeah.
What is it? Playresolve? Is it playresolve.com?
Playresolve.com is just the website with the link to the Kickstarter. Yeah.
Puzzle Hungry board game. It comes up too.
Yeah. And maybe we'll have you back on for a 50 recap if you want to come back.
Sounds good. All right.
All right. That's it.
Thanks, guys.
Everyone, subscribe to the channel, and we will see you next week.